Hello, this is Unplugged Mic News. I am without my mic today. That's because I am lazy. Don't want to get up. I just woke up like about an hour ago, and it takes me a while to really wake up. So we're doing this today. This is uncensored, unplugged, and I forgot my line. Point is, Deandre Hopkins is a trade rumor now. I have my little setup here so I can have my fact checked, which isn't a bad thing to have. Don't judge me. But I just want to talk about who can be candidates for this trade. I see a lot of potential in the AFC. So DeAndre Hopkins could easily go back to the AFC. But let's talk about the AFC. So the teams I see that can be eligible for this type of trade, I can see possibly the Patriots. People will even say that, for the type of contract he wants, for the type of player he is a Patriot. I can agree with that. Hair. Uh, um, maybe the Browns, but he's not going to want to go to the Browns. Let's be real. Odell left the Browns for a reason and won a Super Bowl afterwards. So, yeah. Titans maybe. Possibly the Colts. He's not going back to the Texans. Maybe Jaguars, but I don't think they'll really go after him. They could do a swap with the Raiders. I know they were saying how Adams was probably unhappy now. How they could probably trade him off as well, so they can do a switch. That would be interesting. Kansas City is probably one of the biggest factors here that no one's talking about. Kansas City, possibly looking for a number one receiver, trying to elevate guys like Sky Moore, Justin Watson, McCole Hardman, not really what he should be. You have Valdez Scantling and you have Juju Smith-Schuster as well. Perfect guys for the 2 and 3 spot. But if you have DeAndre Hopkins on there as well, and if he's, with him playing how, he's still playing very well, that's another threat for Mahomes. That's scary. I wouldn't really trade that for the world, but I would trade for him. And by the way, I feel like with J.J. Watt retiring, I feel like it would be a good idea if we just trade off Frank Clark to the Cardinals, if we can get the Hop that way. Maybe a couple of mid-round picks. Don't get rid of your first-round pick because Kansas City will host the draft this year, and I will go to that. I don't care what anybody says. I will go to that. Hey, hopefully live coverage as well. Who knows? But honestly, with this AFC situation, my top 3 candidates for this is most likely the Patriots, the Titans, and the Chiefs. Titans are looking for receiver help. Chiefs looking for the number 1 receiver, and the Patriots are trying to help out Mac Jones. Seems legit right there. So let's go to the NFC side. I haven't really scouted them that much. Obviously, when you think of NFC teams needing a receiver, you immediately think the Packers, which seems right. So definitely the Packers would be a candidate, but knowing their office, I don't see them really doing that. You can make the argument that possibly the Giants getting Daniel Jones a number 1 receiver, that wouldn't really hurt. Maybe get them more than just 9 wins. Possibly the Lions, but Amon-Ra St. Brown, I really like him. But that could happen as well. So, you have the Giants, Lions, Packers. Um, who else really? Who else would D-Hop be interested? That's what I'm looking for. They're not going to trade within the division. I'm not even going to go to the NFC West. Tampa possibly, but I don't know. I don't know if they'd be able to do that. Of course, Tom Brady's still on the team, but you know. So Tampa is an interesting name, along with possibly the Bears. The Bears were really looking for receiver help this year for sure. They most likely are going for defense in the draft. I think they should get Will Anderson Jr. Perfect prospect, the perfect guy for the team. So receivers definitely something they'll want to look for in free agency. I think it'll be perfect if they grab a guy like D Hop, or even if they get Devontae Adams, just anybody of that nature. But with D Hop being in the trade rumor already, Bears should be knocking on that door. Packers, Aaron Rodgers, and then you have Jordan Love who will need that help. All they really have right now is Lazard and oh wow, Christian Watson. There we go. Oh, I remember. Uh, who had a great year. Don't get me wrong. He's going to develop pretty well, but it's also good to have that. You know, I think Julio Jones when he was with the Falcons had Rod. I'm gonna actually check myself on that, but I think it was Rod Smith. Probably not Rod Smith. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to fact check myself. It was Rod something. Okay, sorry. Give me a sec, guys. Give me 1 second, and it was Roddy White. Okay, it was Roddy White, and who else? And I was right on Christian Watson. Okay, y'all gotta forgive me. I'm tired. I'm tired, and my brain doesn't work sometimes. So. Right now, the Bears are more of a need for receiver right now, but the Packers are definitely knocking on the door, and they have the leverage to do so. But even if they trade Rodgers, I mean, they can easily trade Rodgers to Arizona, and just work with Jordan Love. I'm trying to hold it in, but it's not working. So when you have some trades that are easy to do, like Frank Clark for D-Hop and other things, of course, the Chiefs will have to give, but then you have, Aaron Rodgers. You can trade him away. You can probably trade other things as well. Rodgers is probably more of a possibility than Frank Clark, but I don't see other teams really needing it. Definitely the Giants, definitely Packers, Bears, and Buccaneers. That's who I see as a trade candidate for there. So those are the 4 teams there, and my 3. Well, I had a multiple in the AFC. The AFC just really needs step on the receiver area. Oh, and I forgot about the Broncos. But I don't think they're going to go crazy like that, honestly. They have a great defense. They have Russell Wilson, who wasn't that great this year. No, I'm not looking at the stats, by the way. I promise. I'm just looking at other things. It's football related, but it's not stats. I was looking at news of the Broncos, but Russell Wilson, he didn't have a great year. He had to deal with Nathaniel Hackett, who was fired. Now they're winning a few games with their new interim coach. Now they'll get a new coach. People say the Chargers are going to get Peyton, Sean Payton, which wouldn't be a bad idea, but what if Denver gets him? There you go. And Sean Payton knows his receivers, so at least that's how I feel. I think he knows his receivers well. I don't know. All I know is he won a Super Bowl and did very well with a team with not so great receiver, threats, but except for Michael Thomas, but he never won a Super Bowl, did he? Those are my deals. Is this a good trade for Arizona? Is this a good idea for Arizona? Probably not, because now this gets Kyler Murray away from his threats, which can kind of expose them a little more, but is this a good thing for Deandre Hopkins? Definitely. I don't see Arizona really being a good leverage for him. I don't see Arizona giving him the help that he needs. So this is probably a really good idea for Arizona, and this is a good idea for him. This is not a good idea for Arizona, but Arizona doesn't need the controversy. So on that point, yes, it is a good idea. But who wants them the most? That's the question. My main candidates: Patriots, Chiefs, Bears, Packers. Those are my main guys that I think would go after them. Maybe Titans, maybe Giants. Those two are maybe, but those two are also probably the low standard type of guy, like the guys that won't really have much of a chance because of the other four I just stated. Oh, and Tampa. Forgot about Tampa. Because, I don't know. They're not hurting on receivers. They got Mike Evans. They've got Godwin. They got the Rod God. Thank you, Bengal. They've got enough to where they can focus on other needs. But, their defense is fine. Their offense is fine. They just need to they just need a few other key places to make it all work. So that's my standard. That's my stand on that. That's my predictions. I didn't really predict anything. Whatever. You know what I mean. It's morning time. It's 11:30, but it's still morning time. Leave me alone. I was up until 2 a.m., so there you go. Kids, don't do that. Don't be dumb. Thank you for your time. This is Unplugged Mic News. Uncensored, unmiked, unplugged. I don't know. Just have a good day.